Philistine would have had extra. But the one that I particularly like, that they talk about, I think in 2 Samuel, is that Goliath had 4 other brothers. Goliath had 4 giant brothers. So a scholar put it and said, it might be that he had 5 stones because he was preparing for retaliation. So the 4 brothers came, they had 4 stones with their names on it as well. Because David decided, I am coming for victory and I will not leave. I am not going to be denied. When we face obstacles, is that the language we're speaking? That I must get victory and I am not leaving victory. Victory is mine. Because if we know that the Lord is already victorious and we are the inheritance, we have his inheritance, why would we not be sure of victory? God cannot lose. God cannot lose. So he got the 5 stone. He's approaching the giants. And when the Philistine, let me use the language that they use, when the Philistine, the uncircumcised Philistine, looked about and he saw David, he disdained him. For he was but a youth and ruddy and of a fair countenance. We talked about this in chapter 16. We talked about the way that David looked. David looked ruddy and he was a fair countenance. He was handsome. David didn't look like a warrior. In chapter 16, when we started listening the David story, we saw where Samuel came and he was supposed to anoint the king. And when he looked, he saw Eliab and then he saw the other brothers. And he was like, yeah, these must be the kings because they look strong and they look ready for war. And God said, no, not them. And Samuel had to turn to the father and say, how many more sons? And he called David. And when David came, this is how he described David, ruddy and of fair countenance. And if God had not spoken to Samuel, Samuel could not have seen it because David did not look like a king. He did not look like a man of war. So here is the Philistine looking at this boy that is handsome and he's underestimating David again. As you build, men will underestimate you, and it is okay. It is okay. They have not seen any evidence. I've talked about this as well, that there will be mockers and scoffers. And these mockers and scoffers, they have the right to mock and scoff until they have had evidence that proves them wrong. Because when they look, they can't see the end. When they look, they can't see what God has promised you. When they look,